Well, on Finalysis, we take the analytics from fantasy football, combine them with the betting trends, and we help you find the sharpest angle for every game this week. So let's dive into it right now with Frank Stampfl of Sports Grid. And Frank, we're going to start things off with your top plays of the week. And it seems like Tampa Bay is getting a lot of attention from the experts, from the big bettors. They're getting 2.5 in Tennessee. Are the big bettors, are the experts more sold on Tampa or less of a believer in Ryan Tannehill as Titans quarterback?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the latter there. I think they're just less of a believer in Ryan Tannehill, who performed well last week. I'm not going to take anything away from him. Threw for over 300 yards. It was a nice performance for Ryan Tannehill. But now we have the Tampa Bay Bucks, who are coming off the bye, very, very strong against the run. They are number one in the NFL in run defense DVOA. They're allowing the fewest yards per carry to opposing running backs. And the Tennessee Titans are a team that wants to run the football. They have the 8th highest rush percentage in the NFL this season. So if they make life difficult on Derrick Henry and this offense becomes one-dimensional where Ryan Tannehill is dropping back and trying to beat the Tampa Bay Bucks secondary, then I think the front line of the Tampa Bay Bucks defense could have some success because they are 7th in pressure rate. The Tennessee Titans are allowing the 5th most pressures per game. I think this is a good spot for Tampa Bay.
See, and that's what I like, is being able to identify those matchups where others might not see it. This is one area where you can see more pressure on Ryan Tannehill, who, by the way, is not exactly known as a mobile quarterback, could really fluster the guy.
Yeah, and he's a backup quarterback for a reason coming into the season. He took over for Marcus Mariota because Mariota couldn't even get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, right? They have Corey Davis on that team, who was a former top 10 pick in the NFL, and they haven't been able to get any production out of him. So I think the change was necessary to get Ryan Tannehill in there. But let's remember, he is a backup quarterback for a reason. And I think once he starts seeing some pressure, that's when you start to see some bad decisions, some sacks, some takeaways here, some interceptions, maybe some fumbles as well. And Jameis Winston in his career coming off the bye has performed really well. Let's hope that we get good Jameis this week.
Yeah, let's hope we get good Mike Evans this week as well. It's hot or cold with Mike Evans as of late. That's killing my fantasy team. All right, the Panthers getting 5.5 in San Francisco against the last undefeated team in the NFC. Now, on paper, this seems like an easy pick, but 79% of the money is coming in on the Panthers. What are the sharps seeing here?
Yeah, so this line actually opened up with Carolina getting 6 points. It's moved down to 5.5. And I think the way to attack the San Francisco defense is on the ground and with the rush. Because if you look at it on the season, the San Francisco 49ers are 2nd in the NFL in pass defense DVOA. They are 12th in the NFL in run defense DVOA. Still a very good mark,
sure,
but the way to attack them is on the ground. And one of the best running backs in the league right now, Christian McCaffrey, entering this game. He's 3rd in the NFL in rushing yards, Steve. He's played one game less than pretty much every other running back in the NFL. They've already had their bye week. So I think people are looking at the way that Christian McCaffrey has played so far this season. The fact that Kyle Allen is the first quarterback in modern history to start his NFL career 5-0. We're talking about another team he's going up against right now that's undefeated. But Kyle Allen has played really well. They're coming off the bye as well. And I thought this was a great stat per Warren Sharp. Away teams off the bye, this is a 146-game sample. 86, 58, and 2 against the spread. That is a 59% clip. So it's a good spot for Carolina here.
So sometimes you do pay attention to historical statistics as opposed to, the teams, what's actually happening with the teams right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think you try and take everything into account. You try and take the matchups, for example. We talk about Christian McCaffrey and the run going up against the San Francisco 49ers. But when we have that much data, 146-game sample and a 59% clip, I think that you can kind of hang your hat on that a little bit. We're not looking at, some of these other trends where a team is, they scored 30 points in the last game and this is what their ATS record is after that. I mean, I think there's actually some relevance to this data that we have here, and it's a pretty big sample size.
That's the key, is trying to figure out which data is most relevant for every single game. All right, the Giants line has moved by a half point against the Lions. Detroit now favored by 6.5. You put a lot of weight on matchups, and I like that because that is game-specific and team-specific. Saquon Barkley against this Lions defense heavily favors Barkley, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Detroit has allowed at least 110 rushing yards in every game this season. They're allowing 4.76 yards per carry to opposing running backs. This is a really, really strong matchup for Saquon Barkley. And the Lions defense overall this year, they've allowed at least 420 total yards in every game this season. They just traded away their starting safety, Quandre Diggs, as well. Some turmoil in the locker room. A lot of the players did not like that they made that move. Darius Slay is not going to play in this game as well, so he is their shutdown corner. It's a revenge game for Golden Tate. We're not going to look too much into that, but he has been performing as of late, since he's been activated for the New York Giants. So I think the combination of Golden Tate and the fact that the Detroit Lions haven't really been able to stop the run is a good spot for the New York Giants as well.
And Detroit's not exactly putting pressure on the quarterback either. So Daniel Jones, when he has time, he can be as accurate as anybody in the NFL.
Yeah, and I think that, there is a method to the madness with Dave Gettleman and what he's done with the New York Giants. He has a lot of weapons on this team that make plays after the catch, and Daniel Jones excels in the short to intermediate. So, as you mentioned, he is really accurate on those throws. So he gets the ball in the hands of Golden Tate, of Evan Engram, of Saquon Barkley in the short passing game, and those are three of the best players in the league in terms of yards after the catch. There's a method to the madness when it comes to Dave Gettleman and the New York Giants.
Now, early in the season, we were seeing line movements of, say, 2 and 3 points, but the line movement on this game has been a half point, and even a half-point movement this late into the season has to raise your eyebrows a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, and ideally you'd like to get this game at 7 in case the Giants do end up losing by the touchdown there, so you can still be on the hook for the push there. But ultimately at 6.5, I think that the based on the matchups here, that the Giants are actually live dogs in this game. It wouldn't surprise me if they go into Ford Field and they actually upset the Detroit Lions.
All right, we continue to follow the money. The Texans 7-point home favorites to the Raiders, and after seeing what Aaron Rodgers did against that Raiders defense, 400 plus yards. Do you think that Deshaun Watson is licking his chops this weekend at what he's about to face?
100%, Steve. Aaron Rodgers last week, 429 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns. He even rushed for a touchdown. The old man rushed for a touchdown. Deshaun Watson, he can rush for a few touchdowns as well. The way to attack this Oakland Raiders defense right now is through the air. As you mentioned, they are 30th in pass defense DVOA this season. They are 31st in pressure rate. So despite using the 4th overall pick on Clelin Ferrell, they're not getting to the quarterback. They're not creating a lot of pressure. That's going to allow Deshaun Watson to sit behind not a great offensive line, and he's going to have some time to make plays down the field. I expect DeAndre Hopkins and Kenny Stills, not Will Fuller because Will Fuller is hurt, to have big games in this one. Yeah,
Kenny Stills, obviously, kind of stepping up with the loss of some of those guys. I think the one stat that that shined for me when I looked at your Nuggets there, Oakland 1-5 against the spread on the road. That's not a good sign right there. You can definitely hang your hat on a stat like that.
Yeah, John Gruden, his past 2 years with the Oakland Raiders since he's joined the team, he really has not performed on the road, and they're now playing their 5th game on the road in a row this season. So, they've been on the road for a long time here, and I think eventually that's going to catch up to them. Even laying a touchdown here, I would do it. I think it's a Houston Texans slaughter in this one.
All right. Well, that's his top plays of the week. Don't forget to check out his other segments on his leans and his toss-up bets. He is Frank Stampfl of Sports Grid. I'm Steve Overmeyer, and this is Finalysis.